Do you understand? They're making sure that SKT take that Caitlyn or take that Elise. Blank only has one game on Elise played. He has been consistent in everything else, so I would be led to believe that he will have success on this champion, but KT seemingly don't care about this champion, instead going with a completely different approach, blocking away that Lulu early on. Wolf is preferred support this split, and with hyper carries being left up, this could be the time where Death picks up a late game monster.
Well,
oh yeah, you know it's happening with Lulu Gragas.
Yeah, Lulu Gragas to start. It's coming. Probably the third pick, I would assume, so that it doesn't get banned out. I'm not sure what that means. Says, like, if SKT loses, he'll do something. Oh, go back to the army.
Oh, maybe
okay.
Put that sign away, my friend. Not tonight.
Well, if Blank has anything to say about it, plus Santara. We're going to see Karma coming in again, most likely for Faker.
Oh, I sincerely hope not. I'm left with so much to desire on Faker being on Karma, where it puts so much emphasis on the rest of the team to start making plays, whereas he's just stuck in the mid lane farming and shooting out Qs every once in a while. The Ashe will be taken away from Bang as well, but now they need a front line and a little bit more damage to make this comp work. Already, with the front line of Lulu Gragas, they're going to be nearly impenetrable when it comes down to dealing with Ashe's DPS.
What will be the pick? Another front line, perhaps? They're going to give Smash Renekton, and his Renekton has looked unbelievable. He's so aggressive on it, always getting in the front line, not afraid to tank towers, to tank multiple members. He knows he's got his team behind his back, and always going for that same target.
Now the bans come out, you can expect SKT to likely target that AD carry pool. However, there are plenty of hyper carries or champions that can synergize well with what KT have. Kalista would even work. Obviously, Twitch and Kog'Maw are the #1 go-to picks in this scenario, but Varus also remains and would synergize well, as it would open up opportunities for Pawn to go with whatever champion he desires in the mid lane, as the CC and utility would already be established.
Lots of options for him, no doubt. Another Rumble ban here against Untara, who, like many tops, have been showing it, but it has been changed in 7.12. Seems like teams are still respecting it to some extent. Varus, Kog'Maw will be the two bans.
This could be the opportunity for a Twitch, if they so desire. It's up to what they want to wait for the last pick. I think you take the AD carry and let Pawn decide for mid lane, as you don't know if it's Karma yet. So Xayah is going to be the pick that Def has been practicing. I believe he has one game or 2 games on it so far, actually. So he has mentioned that he is getting better at this champion, and with the difficulty that it is already to kill her with her ultimate, now you have Lulu on top of that.
Tara, is he going to be bringing out the Gnar? No, it switches. Okay, going back to the Gnar. And it will be locked in. So we're going to be seeing Gnar once again. And the Orianna being hovered for Faker will be locked in.
Lovely, lovely stuff from SKT. Finally, we get to see Orianna. So Faker not on a utility champion so much so. He can carry on this pick. And they've got great synergy all around, and now the top line can actually answer, and it's not in danger of being dove relentlessly. The Kennen, if he falls behind, is just so susceptible to never bouncing back, whereas you have Gnar, you've got your ultimate to protect yourself, and you've got the ability to just snowball out of control as well. He offers a lot of damage early on with Hyper, and then the combination of heavy physical damage with Elise means that they can answer back in a 2v2 into the top side. However, Pawn does go back to that Corki, so a double AD carry composition coming out of KT. And I wonder at this point if we still call Corki an AD carry, because while the build looks like it, he does just mostly magic damage.
Definitely would be interesting to get some numbers on that. But I want to see now if Blank can do something similar on this Elise, you know, comparatively to what we saw out of Score. Obviously, he had Renekton in the top lane to set up the easy kills onto that weak little Kennen. But perhaps with Bang, once he hits level 6, maybe they can make something work. He's definitely going to have a harder time unless Untara can slam someone against a wall. he's not going to have, you know, a stun to follow up into his cocoon. He's going to be one of the main guys making the plays. And with all the pressure on him not to lose his undefeated streak, he wants to get a win against KT here tonight.
And Pawn smartly changes his summoner to a cleanse at the very last minute. You do not want to give Blank another opportunity and another lane to gank for. So now it's going to be so much about the side lanes. You've got a good setup with Ash and Carmen to the bottom lane, as well as Gnar and Elise against Renekton and Gragas. So much is going to be on Blank, this 17-0 jungler. Can his streak continue against what KT have shown, who's got a composition that can just fight back early on and late as well?
I really love KT's composition. That's the one you go up against at any point in your long career and you said, oh, that's not going to be a fun game. Going to need to get ahead early to deal with that one. And KT, with all of that momentum behind them from that destructive game number 1, can they close it out with the 2-0? Or is SKT going to fight back and tie things up? Let's find out in game number 2 right now. Fans going hard tonight. Players going.
I have to take my headset off to just get a listen in on those cheers, and they are loud. That's it, they're loud.
Thank you for the official ruling on that one.
I never heard of without my headset before.
You can see if you look at the items, SKT has essentially let go of the Doran Shield meta, whereas KT has not. Saying, hey, it's still strong. You got one less potion, but hey, it's the same item, just a little bit more expensive.
In the matchup with Gnar, Untara can get control of the lane. He can start being aggressive and make the most out of that Doran Shield, and it appears that Score will be starting on that Raptor camp, whereas Blank will be going to blue without a leash. Uses that Blast Cone, get over the wall, and a bit of a contest, but without Phosphorus Bomb from Pawn, might not be able to defend themselves that easily.
None of the Raptors will be stolen. Blank doing the solo blue here.
And the route that Blank does means that he's completely unnoticed. KT have no idea where he's starting, so now he has the element of surprise. They know what Score is doing. They have a ward at the red buff, so they are aware that he's moved to the bottom side of the map. And now they're putting so much trust on Blank to get the game early for SKT, to start getting some advantages, get that ball rolling. Most likely, he probably would go for a gank on the bottom side about 4 minutes in when the wave bounces back. As you can see, SKT just pushing heavily in, or alternatively, a complete farm route. That's a benefit and beauty of not being scouted out when you're starting your jungle route.
And it looks like he's going for the red. Hasn't been taken just yet. Wants to contest there. Ooh, Tara missing that. But here we go, Blank going for the red. Score still at the Wolves, having to take a long time to clear that out. He's not going to get here on time. The Blast Cone is still available for Blank to get out. Is he even going to take that? No, he could just walk out.
It's a great read. Top lane was pushing in, mid lane had control as well, and now he sees Score going after that double camp. You can warn Untara about it, and now he can choose to go for either a counter gank or continue to farm, while Untara can play with the knowledge that the jungler is nearby. Looks like he's going for the Gromp after it just got pinged.
He wants to take as much as possible. A very greedy jungle route. He's like, okay, I know exactly which camps you haven't done, and I'm just going to take all of them. We'll see if he actually does go to that Gromp. He is going for this Scuttle Crab first.
He has an opportunity to gank bottom, but he would have to use the Blast Cone if he wants to get out. Doesn't want to pop that Scrying Orb as the position would be given away. And oh, there is nobody capable of helping him out if he gets collapsed on. Here we go.
Score, body slam over the wall. The Gromp is already gone. Blasting Cone is here. They're just waiting. He's going to turn the corner. He knows exactly where he is. There's the Blast Cone, pops him away. Mata trying to get that polymorph off. Will they turn on to this? The big chunk out of Karma. The flash body slam does miss as Blank does go away. This battle on a knife's edge. Pawn the first to rotate down, and there's the teleport from Smeb. Looking for the kill here onto Wolf, who does have his flash, but not early enough. First blood goes to Smeb again.
KT is just so on point with their communication, their teamwork, the use of teleports. Even Pawn was rotating down. They're trying to make a push for first brick here. This is not going to happen. They just want to zone them away.
The flash in, they're going for more. Repel is coming up, but everybody is ready. Look at this, Blank trying to secure a kill. It's going to be too late. KT getting so much on the back of that. And they've got red buff on Mata too. They're going to be pushing that wave.
Holy crap, they're seriously punishing everything they can punish. Any mistake that SKT's making, any overstep, they're there to punish. And Blank greeding out a little bit, going for that Gromp was no longer viable after he committed to the Scuttle Crab first. See how the bottom lane was pushing in. SKT had to go through the minion wave. Opens you up to get teleported behind, and that's exactly what happened when Tara only gets a little bit of CS. And here's where it goes. Blank, instead of blasting away, the second he sees Gragas, tries to get some damage. That cocoon could have been critical in assisting for a kill onto Deft, and as such, well, he does a nice flash. Look at the teleport. It's going to happen right now. And the second they decided to stay a little bit longer, Wolf is not in that position to get out of this. That's a level 4 Renekton who's got flash, doesn't use his own summoner, and then they stay deeper, and I don't think we're going to get to see it much longer, but Smeb's Renekton is just a thing of beauty today.
Might just have to become a permaban. I mean, this guy, regardless of if you've got an Elise on your team or not, he's just going to cause havoc across the rift in the bot lane. Just the focus, once again, to make sure that he gets there on time. Untara not bothering to teleport down. Probably wouldn't have helped Wolf in that situation either. It's kind of a done play once they had moved up that far and got teleported behind.
Absolutely not. That's the kind of play that Blank makes that you get to judge for yourself. Okay, how on point is this team tonight? Are they going to react very quickly? And he could have gotten out. He absolutely, that play would have been avoided with a bit more wisdom. And as such, it's only a couple of kills, and the gold is only 300 up in the favor of KT this time around. So it's not the end of the world this early on, as they don't have champions that snowball quite as hard as an Elise. Instead, they have a Gragas who's much better at team fighting later on.
Faker aggressive against Pawns. Level 5 Corki. Faker going low on mana, but does have the Shockwave to always threaten. But again, Corki pretty good at just clearing out those waves, getting back to safety with the Valkyrie if need be.
The blue buff being handed off to Faker. That's going to ease some pressure for SKT to the mid lane, noticing how easy it is for Pawn to clear out the wave.
Bang losing that trade and pushing for more. Thunderlords from Mata, forced to flash away. Deft, he wants it. The Q coming in and he misses. So close. But on the chase, and that comes off a mistake from Bang, just chasing a little bit too far.
Ends up coming up with the crucial sidestep at the end, but now Pawn going to go for the honey fruit to get back into this lane. Here comes Blank, though.
Does have those Moby boots. He's incredibly fast. No real response here just yet, even though they did see him. It's because they do have score nearby.
Look at the genius of that ward right there that KT have. That's the kind of ward that helps you scout out a potential route from an Elise that has Moby boots when you don't proc the vision denial from that control ward into that try, and as such, Blank walks away and thinks that dropping that control ward will put a gap in vision that's long enough for them to go for a gank, but unfortunately he gets scouted even before he got to that place.
It's the kind of thing that takes, you know, multiple hours of just VOD watching, review of the opponents. You know, if he plays Elise, is he going to go Moby Boots? Seems to be the theme tonight across both of these series, and takes incredible game sense as well. Kind of game sense that comes from, you know, world champion, a guy like Mata, who was making the plays in game 1. Some 400 IQs.
And you know, there is a myth that started out in 2014. Now we can't confirm or deny, but I believe it's true. One of the most impressive things I heard was that at one point Mata had 5 accounts in Challenger, all in different roles.
Wouldn't that make him just the best player in the world then? or like the most consistent.
At
perhaps?
the time, possibly.
Rush. They do get that stun, the flash body slam, but the cask is a little bit off, knocking Bang to the north, and they will not secure that kill.
It's a good attempt, but it's going to be enough to push them off the tower. Now that Pawn's got his package, that's going to yield first brick to KT with no cost, as SKT is nowhere to be found for making a play. Elise and Faker are on their way to make a counter, and there's a teleport ward, but no teleport available. So SKT walk away empty-handed.
Just going to have to give that one away. So we were, you know, maybe 300 gold behind for SKT. Now they're down 1.3K. Not in the best spot. Tara up in top lane against the Smeb. Actually, Smeb trying to force this with the dominance. Tara forced the flash away. There's the follow-up from Smeb. Can he get that kill? One more hit will do it, and that's going to be it. The end of Tara's life in the top lane. Smeb, another kill under his belt.
Oh, and this could be the beginning of SKT having to go the extra mile to take down KT, as so far they're pushing them to the limits, and SKT have no answer anywhere else. Solo kill into the top side. The 2v2 just going for some sick outplays as well as the jungle, and here comes that 1v1. His Mega Gnar is about to run out, and that's the window of opportunity for Smeb. The ultimate does miss, but it doesn't matter as Mini Gnar gets procced right away. He's got no chance at this point. Even though he has turret aggro, the ultimate advantage is too much to handle, and he's able to finish him off with the final tick of dominance right at the end. And a solo kill for Renekton onto Gnar is not the start you want to have when you drafted this unconventional pick.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying when we first saw Huni and Peanut coming into the lineup. I was thinking, okay, I'm not super happy with it, but I can understand the idea. Experience, the guys that wouldn't make mistakes like that, but now you sub in Tara after Huni's mistakes, and we see something like that, and it just seems like Smeb can defeat anyone that he sees from SKT up in that top lane.
He's in an absolute tear this time around, getting his best champion right now, multiple games in a row.
SKT focusing on other bans, other picks, not respecting it as much as other stuff. Not tonight. Maybe next time they fight.
Well, what SKT have to do now is rely so much on Faker. He's got the only advantage on their team right now, coming out of a CS lead, so about 30 CS up on Pawn. Remember that Pawn has been roaming a bit more than Faker this time around, and Orianna can easily carry out games, and this is the time where you channel Faker and see what's going on. It's basically your Michael Jordan buzz beater. You have to rely on him at times, and that time is now.
It's an immense amount of pressure onto one guy. He's been through the gauntlet, though. But again, on this Orianna, it's not the big assassin playmaker. It is a playmaker, though, in the Shockwave, if he can line it up. But see if he can actually do that. Okay, we got a teleport coming down into bot. Will be stopped, and actually the arrow goes wide because that teleport is canceled.
Overzealous attempt, but just look at the map and how much SKT is trying to help out their team. Faker was going for the blue buff, and the second he sees that arrow happen and the action being going into the bottom lane, immediately abandons that mission and goes straight to the bottom lane to see if he can make it, see if he can help out. He's got Sork Shoes not only to help in the lane, but also to go for some earlier roams to see if he can actually assist for anything and start getting some gold elsewhere that is not in the lane, as getting a kill on Pawn's Corki will be a near impossible task.
Hawkshot goes out, they see score. He's recalling, gonna be a nice bit of info for them. At the same time, Bang himself is gonna recall, picks up the recurve bow. Looks like he's going into tabbies later on, picking up that cloth armor.
Tara does have his teleport now, so if they can sneak a ward behind the dual lane of KT, they might be able to make a play.
Well, we got one control ward down in the lane.
Oh, Tara's in trouble.
Oh boy, and look at Score, he's right here. Hopes to hop away, but there's the stun follow-up. Score, can he get in range? It doesn't look like it. And the chase will not be successful, and Tara gets away.
The phage proc allowing him to get out safely, and now Score does get spotted, but there's not much damage to follow through on them.
Okay, gonna recall. There's the Cocoon on to score. SMeb doesn't want to go too deep. They have that nice control ward blocking any vision there.
Remember, this is KT initializing this move, so they have first dibs on attacking this tower, whereas you've got Ash dealing on the bottom lane. Here's Karma, they might try to dive him, but with package, it's unlikely for it to succeed.
Yeah, extremely unlikely. You could see that Pylon, nice amount of respect as well. Just sitting there, clearing out the wave, not getting aggressive at all. Knows Karma's nearby. Mata and Def, meantime, up in top lane, looking to get another turret onto their side. They've pitted SMeb actually up against Faker in the mid lane for now.
Not such a hot idea, as he has blue buff and Morellonomicon, and once he procs that threshold, the chances of Renekton to stay in this lane dwindle, such he will have to recall as that threshold has been met. And Faker continues his reign of terror into the mid lane, and that's the guy that they have to bank on right now. He's going to be yielding that first turret for SKT.
Okay, going for the Shockwave onto the Gragas, who has both Flash and the Body Slam up. But again, just wanting to push him away. They wanted to secure that turret 100%.
They're looking for anything they can get right now. And KT, on the contrary, they just need to be playing it standard. And SKT, again, looking for absolutely any advantage on the map. A Cloud Dragon, it doesn't matter what dragon this was. They would want it anyways. Our next dragon, I believe, is going to continue to be another Cloud Dragon, as we just saw it not change in its appearance. Not a big deal, however. Now SMeb is being surrounded. It's a 4-man attempt onto him, and Bang does have his arrow, but Herald is going to be traded for KT at not much of a cost, as that turret is not as significant as taking down that Herald, utilizing into the mid lane. And if Pong gets some significant damage onto this tower with that Sheen, then Herald will net them a tier 1 in a later moment.
Bang just walking through, eating a bunch of damage. Should be able to get that. Does have some life steal, but as you were saying, the bigger objective, that Rift Herald just being given away. Looking for potentially a kill here onto SMeb. There's the Shockwave trying to follow up here. The Cocoon already used. There's the Repel onto this Renekton, and there's the Q coming out. They do pick up that kill onto SMeb.
That's a big kill for SKT because they need as much gold as possible this time around. They do lose Herald in return, and it's actually going to go to Mata. So the quickest person on the map will be receiving that Herald, so they can use it as fast as possible, and hopefully with a bit more precision than some of the other Heralds we've seen so far. And I believe that might be the first time we've seen Herald go to a support, but I completely understand it in this situation.
It's going to be pretty cool, too, that it goes on to Mata, essentially the shot caller for this team of KT, and decide, you know, hey, boys, we're gonna push mid. Come join up with me. Obviously, it's not going to happen right now as he's alone, but let's take a look at this replay as SMeb gets dived.
Baker doesn't have a whole lot of mana, so he's banking a lot on his auto attacks and just barely uses almost all of it. Right at the end, we'll have one final use on that final command protect, but the Luden's Echo proc, or Echo from the...
Big cask used here. Wolf saying, okay, I'm out of here, Blank. You're all alone. See ya. Down he goes. A little bit aggressive. SMeb hanging nearby. Not too afraid of any of these guys.
Yeah, we didn't get to see what exactly was Blank doing in that side of the map with Wolf. Losing his flash as well as a kill. They're still in the gold lead, however, and there is a teleport onto SMeb. They'll have to clear the wave first before they start thinking about making a play on the map, but it looks like to me KT's play right now is making the most out of this Rift Herald.
You can see everyone's hanging around mid. Just Corky, Pawn up in the top lane. Mata not going to use it yet. Just going to use the enhanced recall by 2 more control wards. Head back out.
That's a lot of around the top red side of KT, and allowing them to have safe movement between that top lane turret and mid. Even though they have lost that tower, it does let Pawn play a bit more aggressively, and here we go. So they were just going for some vision, but the control ward from Score ends up catching them off guard, and he hits a 2-man cocoon. But remember, this is a tanky Gragas with a Renekton collapsing, so SKT just did not have enough control of the lanes or vision to go for that movement, and as such get punished. And that's what KT is doing so well tonight. They're looking at every opportunity that SKT is presenting in.
Okay, the arrow's going to come out, the immediate cleanse, and the cocoon misses, which means that they cannot follow up. Still had a splash available.
Remember that the cleanse does diminish the duration of that second stun.
And coming on in is the Rift Herald, as ultimate ability for ultimate ability is traded between Faker and Deft. And down goes the tier 1, as if it never existed. The Rift Herald should meet the same fate just after. This is a tiny bit of damage.
A big scarab. Only Brandon Fraser could really handle that one with effectiveness.
Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool guy. I hear they like him on Reddit. Got a lot of pings around Baron here. As, I mean, it did just spawn. It's highly unlikely. Okay, they're going for an engage here. The Wild Growth for the follow-up after the Flash Body Slam. They really want this jungler. They take out Blank. He was all alone. Wolf not near enough. The exhaust comes down to try to save his life. They slow him down. A ton of damage coming out. There's the shockwave though. Faker trying to make this game his own. Does trade back one kill with the help of Bang. But Wolf will go down as well.
Blank is just so easy to pick off when you're at least this squishy this time around without Flash. Score does commit his own Flash and ultimate to get that pick off, but it's a worthwhile trade. However, they overcommit, and that ends up being another kill going their way, but he flashes out, and as long as he connects that body slam, because there is no Flash on Elise, she is completely dead. Now, the use of the ultimate wasn't necessary, probably not, but now they go for Wolf, and here comes the savior for SKT. It's going to be Faker hitting a great shockwave, and that while Wolf does go down, trading on to Score is all that SKT needs. Any kill that they can get is worthwhile. Remember, increasing the kill count, increasing any trade when you are behind is always worthwhile for you.
You see Mava actually going down with Smeb to just lay down one ward, keep him a little bit safe for now, and Faker down in the bot lane for them. We do have that Cloud Drake that did just spawn, so it seems like KT just going to group around there, take that out.
SKT is on a bit of a clock when they take these fights. Remember that they have to wait for the clock to strike midnight for Huntara to turn into Mega Gnar before they take a fight. Mini Gnar teleporting in is much weaker than having Mega Gnar there to combo with a crowd control and hit you with that wombo. Some good chunking, but now KT is taking over this blue side. They're ready to start pressuring Baron 22 minutes in. Just because they have Gragas with enough magic resist and armor and Lulu, they'll be comfortable if they have the time to just take out a Baron.
Okay, finally they've thrown Huntara down here into the bot lane to deal with this Renekton. Huntara actually finishing up the Randuin's Omen. You can get into that back line of the Corki Xayah. Definitely a good item to pick up.
Absolutely. Most of the damage being those autos is going to be incredibly helpful when you have that item.
Rapid Fire Cannon's second item for the Xayah as the follow-up. Just going to be firing them out as fast as possible.
It's only Wolf by himself trying to clear out vision, so dangerous for him. But KT's not in a great position to collapse on a single target. They are spread out, just looking to mitigate all the vision. They don't have deep vision, as SKT has done a good job of denying some of it, especially this one right here that they're fighting for with their lives.
There are a couple of them back there, but we're getting a look at this trade in the bot lane. Smeb wanting to go in, actually, as the rotation from the bot lane of KT on the chase here for Huntara. But look at SKT on the map. They're going immediately towards this Baron. They are going to start that Huntara, even if he does go down. is going to be okay. He's denying so many of these recalls for as long as possible, and there it is. So poke coming out here from Pawn. Can they get the steal? And the teleport is going to be coming in from Smeb now. They need to get this Baron down. Coming on down, but he's not going to get it. That's going to be actually Faker taking out the Baron, and the rest of SKT on the run now. Wolf is going to be slowed down. We see actually Bang up in the top lane. Is going to be taking out the double kill. Wolf, he needs to stay alive with that Baron buff, but can he? The body slam coming in. That's going to be the ace. KT will take that Baron away from SKT.
As well as 2 towers now into the mid lane. SKT being forced in such a dangerous position with Untara fighting out on Smeb, but the rotation from Lulu and Xayah being too quick. They're looking for an inhibitor instead. They're going mid.
They want it. What a play. SKT put on a similar clock to go for the Baron. They couldn't get it down in time. They turned on to Pawn in the middle of it, just as Score was coming from behind, and you could see how much damage Blank was taking. And even though Faker was able to secure it with the shockwave, funnily enough, it just didn't matter because everyone went down.
Instead of committing to one, they go for both towers. I don't have a chance of chasing this one, but the decision that SKT was in is one that was ill-advised. No matter what, had they committed to that Baron, remember that they don't have a tank to take that objective without suffering significant damage and resistance reduction. Untara was not there. So they have no way of peeling off and defending against Score for us to happen. Here it is. They're trying to start onto the Baron, but Blank is going to be taking so much damage. All that Pawn has to do is stall out, and Blank ends up tanking so much of the Baron that he almost dies, but the smite comes out right as the shockwave hits, which results in Faker getting that Baron, but all of SKT lost it, and that could have been the game-winning move for KT had that Baron been stolen. So playing with fire for SKT.
Well, they were looking to make a big play when the pressure was on, but I mean, now they're in a really wonky kind of situation. They are behind. They've lost their top inhibitor turret. The mid one is extremely low. One lost fight. And we're getting later in this game. If it goes above 30 minutes, one lost fight, and we could see the game end towards KT and have the 2-0. But SKT really have to be careful with the fights they take now as the pressure is on. And now Untara on the run, trying to slow Smeb here to jump away, but the polymorph coming in, they get that stun, knock him out of the base. Do they have enough damage to follow up? Here comes Def from the right side. Untara incredibly tanky. It looks like they might be able to keep him alive. Lots expended for that, but they do not get the kill.
So close to being taken out there, and had Gnar gone down, double inhibitors would have ensued. So really close there for SKT. The polymorph not being enough to keep Untara away from those base gates. Not enough damage there. Right now they don't have enough to take him out.
Oh man, look at that damage coming out here from Deft. And Wolf, he's just desperately trying to stay alive, and he has for an extremely long time. They're actually going to give up on him. Score tanking that turret to allow Deft to get out.
This map is all SKT or KTs at this point. They're doing whatever they want. That's Def going for a tier 2 around the tower to try to dive Wolf with Score just coming in without a minion wave to dive, and now they're poised to take this Infernal Dragon with the double AD and the Black Cleaver onto Renekton. That's going to help out so much. Now the Infinity S gets completed. This Xayah hits like a truck.
From far away, and you said it in the draft, right? How are you going to get past the front line of Smeb on Renekton and Score on Gragas when you have a Xayah in the back with the help of Lulu and the Feather Storm and the Rapid Fire Cannon to allow her to attack from farther away? It's going to be nearly impossible when KT is already this far ahead.
KT's thinking about contesting this one. The wards for the teleport aren't quite there, so Smeb is rotating. He's not in vision. Oh, KT's going to engage on this the second they see it. There's a flash on Score.
Okay, they're looking for it. Here comes Score with the triple knockup. The Wild Growth coming in, but where's the follow-up with the damage? The TP coming in here from Untara. Smeb is late on the left side. Doesn't look like they can actually take out Score at the end of this, but the bots engage, and KT will not get a kill. Now Smeb is on the run, and Untara trying to chase him. we'll just throw a house at him and back off.
The engage was premature. While the opportunity looked juicy, Renekton was not there to capitalize immediately, and as such, it's now SKT that have the Dragon, and now it's the composure that they have that is keeping them in this, but they have to be aware that it was Smeb not being that Score pulled the trigger a little bit too early. They get away scot-free now that their carries did not have to burn a flash, and their main engage for KT did. So a bit of a breather for SKT, but in so much danger as life should have flashed before their eyes when that engage came through.
I'm sure it did, and it's flashing before Faker's eyes too, as the teleport's coming in and he is all alone. Corki, pawn coming down here. There's nothing that Faker can do. Can't even trade back damage without mana. And down goes our boy Faker, 50 seconds until we see him again.
They don't have enough time to start addressing waves. That surely is going to be that mid lane turret going down. Orianna being the main wave clear. That tower is just a couple of hits away. Bang's going to try to clear this out, but
he's going to try to here. Not a good idea. Has to stay alive. Trying to use Karma to clear this. Down it goes.
They're not going to push for inhibitor just yet. They are not fully grouped. They need Corki and Gragas to be here. And Gragas is here now.
Tara, you can see he's rotating. Baron coming up in 50 seconds. That seems to be the target for KT at this point. They're not going to push it too hard. They know if they can get Baron, they can put on the push that gets the inhibitors later on in the game.
Exactly. That Baron push yields 2 inhibitors, nearly guaranteed, as the turrets have been taken out before. So their initial attempt where they could have gone for 1 inhibitor but chose to go for turrets could have been in preparation for moments like this, where when you have an objective, you can easily explode the base. As inhibitors are down is infinitely more complicated to get out of than just 1.
KT with that push, you see they had to recall afterwards, and a lot of the vision around Baron is being taken currently by SKT. The only thing is that the Scuttle Crab is currently in KT's favor, so they do have vision for right when this Baron does spawn. You see no one's going in just yet.
Renekton just
look at that.
fancying going for the sides.
His Renekton, man, I would never want to play against Smeb's Renekton.
I don't
see him on the enemy team, I'm dodging right away.
How did you get that high in your ranks?
Well, I'm not there yet. We'll see, maybe someday. He's waiting in the shadows, the gigantic crocodile.
They can't engage just yet, though. Corki's not there. He's got Package, and that will be a critical move for this upcoming fight between Package and Red Buff, and now Bang gets to join the fight.
Score up against 5 in the front line, not scared at all. Where's that Package? And here's Smeb from behind. Look at the amount of damage Guntara has already taken. Score looking for the casket. He gets Guntara right into Pawn, who actually gets arrowed in the back. Smeb going in big. The big wild growth, but lots of damage coming on to him. He's going to eat that redemption and will be healed up. But KT, they don't have that engage anymore. The cask is gone. The wild growth is gone, and they're going to be forced to back off. SKT, they stay alive.
Oh my god, the implications of this fight are huge. Wolf!
Oh boy. The cost of going for vision.
Going for this fight is pretty much nearly the game, because you do lose Baron if you lose this battle, and giving Baron right now to any of these teams would be catastrophic. For KT, it would mean that SKT is capable of leaving their base and fighting easily. Here's Bang up to Def, though.
Okay, he's trying to make up for past mistakes. Def with no Featherstorm. They're looking for it. Somehow Wolf went down to that on the backside. How did that even happen?
He pulled the feathers back, and Wolf was low enough, that initial chunk.
Oh, man.
They have to rush Baron now. They're thinking about it as Deft has to recall, but this is not going to be the game-winning play for SKT. They're just going to have to deal with it.
They have to delay as much as possible. We got 18 seconds left for Wolf, and they're going for a push. You can see the pings going down on the inhibitors instead of the Baron.
Deft chose not to recall. I think they want to force SKT to retreat and then go force a Baron themselves. They do have a Scrying Orb that's about to happen, so they threaten the move. They push a little bit deeper, and that allows the dueling to recall without any chance of SKT retaliating.
What a game this has been. SKT holding on for dear life. KT in the driver's seat for the entirety of it. Let's take another look at the Featherstorm that killed Wolf. He just walks into it. Ooh. And Deft barely doesn't go down. The polymorph and flash to safety from Mata potentially keeps him alive. Bang still had his flash.
It's like a final destination death. Blades come out of you from behind.
Yeah. What a way to go. That's a mistake he'll be kicking himself for. If Wolf stayed alive, I mean, would have been potentially 5v4 for a lot of that. They could have gotten even more vision down. Maybe even taken a fight.
Oh man, I'm gonna have a heart attack watching this. I feel so tense in this moment.
Yeah. It's just really insane right now where this game is at. You were talking about Faker, he's gonna have to be their main man, but at the same time, Bang has stepped it up, has caught up, and he's doing that brave Bang thing. But here we go, Baron is started. Arrow, it's coming in, it's gonna miss Deft actually, and hit Pawn. And that will stop the Baron. KT not comfortable enough to go for that. Huntara still pushing in the bot lane, does have his TP. KT looking to rotate into the top lane.
That did force the ultimate, but this is a level 6. Ultimate is going to come back. It's already a quarter of the way there, and they just don't want to lose the inside track to their base. Meb getting a little bit harassed.
Thankfully, he does have that double slice and dice. Looking to collapse potentially. I mean, Faker is in the top lane, forced to push that back. And Huntara has just been peacefully pushing bot lane still. And here we go. Baron is going to be started once again here by Deft, by Pawn. They can do an incredible amount of damage to that, and we do see the TP coming in finally, but that Baron is getting super low. The flash in, it's not going to be enough. Pawn is going to pick up that Baron. Now Smeb extremely low, but he's going in. A very, very low Blank is going to eat it. The flash in from Bang, he's trying to take out Deft, but he can't take him out. Mata though extremely low. Here comes Huntara looking for that kill. Score still on the backside, trying to just run away. SKT, they want to pick up as much as possible. Here's the TP from Smeb. That was a little bit too much. He is going to cancel that. But after all, KT does get that Baron.
And the moves that KT made bought them enough distance between them and SKT that when they respond to the Baron, when they do their diligences in clearing vision, they were not able to respond. Now they're fancying going on engage. They're so low, Corki can collapse.
Oh, look at that. The stun is way too much. Just face checking that brush, not expecting the big fat man to be in there. How can it cover all that much meat? That's going to be the Elder Drake going over to KT as well. The arrow's coming out. They're looking for the shockwave steal. It's not enough. Be collapsed on. Here comes the big crocodile looking for more. Does he have enough damage? It doesn't look like it. SKT, they're rotating to save him. And Smeb, he's very brave, but he will have to back off for now.
That's a Baron and Elder on the side of KT now. 2 minutes with the Elder. That should certainly be them pushing for double inhibitors now. We're going to look at that Baron again. Here they come, but Blank looking for the steal. Had he remained calm and provided some utility for the team, this fight might have gone a different way. The carries are capable. Look at Bang. He almost gets out Deft, but flashes right as Mata hits the wild growth. And so they're only able to take out Mata. 1 kill for all the summoners they blew the prey that they wanted, especially when Baron went KT's way.
As you were saying, this is the time. We've been talking about this. Baron is on KT. They have Elder Drake buff as well. They have to push now. Bang is getting really scary on that Ashe. We're seeing what he's doing in these team fights, and his team is providing a lot of a front line to at least help him out, make sure he survives. Wolf's shields are getting out of control.
He's scary, but so is Faker. There's no magic resist on Deft. If a shockwave hits him, he will get one shot.
This is so intense right now. This is the game, SKT. They need to stay alive in this one. They can't be losing inhibitors. Faker, he has blue buff that's going to be so important for clearing these waves and keeping them off the inhibitors. The rest of SKT is trying to clear top wave. Here comes the wave with the Baron empowered minions. Smite going to be used. They want to save this inhibitor, but I'm not sure that they can. Looks like they're going to have to give up top inhibitor.
They have no business taking a fight right now. It likely will be 2. They don't have a great way of engaging. Without Huntara having a teleport to go for a flank or a front line for SKT at the time, they'll need a beautiful shockwave, and arrow goes wide.
Arrow goes wide. They're reacting immediately to Smeb's engage, but he's just way too tanky. And that's going to give up the second inhibitor here. KT extremely happy with that. We'll just back off.
Yeah, SKT just cannot take this fight as long as KT does not group up and give the opportunity for a shockwave. They need to fight for their lives for this final inhibitor. The damage is there, but they need to wait for Elder and Baron to fade away. Otherwise, the chances of that fight going well are too low.
KT, they still have the remnants of the Baron buff that did just end. Looking to push a massive wave and get a little bit of chip damage onto this turret. Faker is up north, looking for a play. Smeb in the mid lane, does a little bit of chunk damage onto score there. Smeb's still in mid.
Mega Gnar is up. KT just have to respect when Mega Gnar is up. The flash ultimate into Shockwave is the wombo that SKT needs. As long as they keep an eye on the Rage Bar, they should not be getting comboed out.
The ball is out, ready to play. Looking for that Shockwave, looking for the money. You can see how much they trust Bang too. Just Wolf throwing a shield to him saying, okay, try to poke someone, try to do some work with the slow that you have on your Ashe. See what you can find.
I need a breather, man. It's like a psychological thriller that you don't know what's happening.
You need to pause for just a couple seconds, take a little deep breath. Here we go, the engage bonus is up. They're looking to zone. They don't want to engage just yet. Smeb going for the blast, though. He finds Faker. He's going to flash away, and now they're going to turn on to Smeb, who's incredibly low, but the Wild Growth, the huge cast, getting on in there to repel up, but a toe with the knockup. There's the engage they needed. That's going to be two. Going over to SKT, and they saved the inhibitor. Now they're on the chase. Can they get any more? Flash used by Score here. Looks like maybe they can. Another slow from Wolf, but Deft, Mata, and Score will escape.
That's exactly what they needed, the flash wombo. They get greedy at KT. They use all their ultimates to try to get a fight as opposed to the objective, and SKT with Untara and Faker just being the heroes of that one. Oh, the wombo was there.
Oh, man.
Give me a game 3. I just want to see more of these two fighting.
It was so cool to see Smeb and Score going in this aggressive. The arrow stopped Score from engaging right away. But then the cask is really beautiful. Knocks them all away, but in Tara, it allows him to get that huge engage at the same time. There's that wombo combo you were looking for, Crumbs.
As long as it hits a couple of valuable targets, that's all they need. Remember that Deft is kind of a short-range AD. If Corki goes down, who offers so much cover fire with his missiles, and he has no business dealing with Ashe. That Ninja Tabi, that 1v1 Ashe is one of the strongest 1v1 champions right now. When that focus fire goes through as well as that Phantom Dancer, oh, we got ourselves a game.
This is unbelievable. I can't believe they've held on through just that one play. Everything going correct at the end of that there. Bang with that MVP arrow to save them from the double engage to get the kill onto Faker, which opens up the wombo combo. On a knife's edge, this one is, guys. Oh. And, I mean, this definitely still can go SKT's way. I mean, we're entering over 40 minutes now. Players are beginning to get full item builds. We're getting there, and one good fight for SKT could mean a huge turnaround. They keep that one inhibitor alive, which means that they only have to push out 2 lanes. Their bottom lane is pushing for them. They're in a great spot right now with Baron just spawning right now.
The key here is that Faker does not have flash. He's got that Banshees to protect him, so he doesn't want to have that proc that will save him from Score, who's fancying an angle, and there's a TP from Smeb that can't come through at the Raptor camp.
Trying to come from the left side is Score. Oh. Doesn't get the Banshees.
That Banshees is so important for Faker right now. That's why he's not even at the front to wave clear. It will keep him alive and make up for his flash lacking.
Oh, Baron. Baron has started.
There's a TP.
TP coming in. Trying to come from behind here. The Baron getting extremely low. It doesn't look like SKT is confident to go in just yet. Baron at about 4,000 health. It's getting extremely low. Steal, but it's not going to do it. That cast is going to knock him away. Now Bang in the front trying to get that kill, but Def pushing them away, but he's all alone on the side. He's going to be taken down, and now Score getting extremely low. Untara with the knock into the wall. You're going to get 2 in a row, and now Pawn on the run. SKT, they're turning this around. What is going on? Pawn going to go down. Smeb the only one left, and that's the remnants of their team. They need that Baron buff.
I think they've done it.
They've taken out all these members.
They can end here.
They're going to get the lead. That's going to do it.
Can they go for it?
SKT They're looking for bottom lane. There's a huge wave there. Is there enough time to end the game?
It's 30 seconds. That's a red buff on Bang. There is teleport on Nuntara. I think they're pushing for this.
They're doing it. The cheers are coming out. The crowd knows it. Everybody watching knows it.
That's it.
We got 15 seconds left on Deft. Score coming in. Faker and Bang, they're trying to push it.
Get out of here.
This is happening, guys. You guys are watching this right now. Unbelievable. I'm shaking in my boots. Bada and Deft, they spawn, but it's too late. The Nexus goes down, and SKT tie it up 1-1. We're going to game 3.
Blank is 18-0, but it's